Marcus sat in his empty apartment, staring at his phone screen where the last text from Sarah had been delivered 3 days ago. A simple good morning that he had sent first, as always. 4 years of love had somehow withered into this. A relationship sustained only by his desperate attempts to keep the conversation alive, and a crushing sense of obligation that felt more like chains than commitment. It hadn't always been this way. 2 years ago, when Marcus's appendix had ruptured without warning, leaving him writhing in agony on his bathroom floor, Sarah had been his guardian angel. She had traveled hundreds of miles to his bedside, her nursing expertise transforming his sterile hospital room into a sanctuary of healing. Her gentle hands had checked his incisions, her soothing voice had calmed his fears, and her unwavering presence had made the pain bearable. During those tender weeks of recovery, Sarah had been everything. Nurse, girlfriend, and best friend rolled into one. She had anticipated his needs before he voiced them, brought him his favorite foods when hospital meals made him nauseous, and held him through the long nights when surgical pain made sleep impossible. His family had fallen in love with her dedication, watching in amazement as she tended to Marcus with the skill of a professional and the devotion of a woman deeply in love. But somewhere in the past year, that passionate, caring woman had become a ghost. Their video calls, once filled with laughter and dreams of their future together, had dwindled to perfunctory check-ins that felt more like business transactions than intimate conversations. When Marcus suggested visits, Sarah's excuses came like a well-rehearsed script. Work was demanding. Her mother was visiting. The timing wasn't right. The silence between them had grown deafening. Marcus found himself initiating every conversation, desperately trying to resurrect the connection they once shared. Their texts had become hollow echoes of what they used to be. "How was your day?" Met with fine, busy with work. The woman who once sent him paragraphs about her dreams and fears now responded in single sentences, if at all. Marcus's heart ached with a loneliness that felt deeper than being actually single. At least single people could hope for connection. He was trapped in the limbo of a relationship that existed only on paper. His friends had started asking why he never brought Sarah around anymore, and he had run out of excuses to give them. And himself. The weight of gratitude had become his prison. How could he leave the woman who had literally nursed him back to health? How could he break up with someone his family adored? Someone who had sacrificed her time and energy when he needed her most? The guilt felt suffocating, but so did the relationship. When Marcus finally gathered the courage to confront Sarah about their dying connection, her promises felt as empty as their conversations. "I'll do better," she had said. But weeks passed with no change. Even when he asked the question that terrified him most. "Am I still your boyfriend?" Her yes felt automatic, devoid of the emotion that once made his heart race. Now Marcus faces the most difficult decision of his life. Stay with someone who saved his body but is slowly killing his spirit, or choose his own emotional survival over a debt he feels he can never repay. Sometimes the greatest act of love is knowing when to let go. But what happens when letting go feels like the ultimate betrayal? What do you think Marcus should do? Is gratitude enough to save a dying relationship? Or should he choose his own happiness? Have you ever felt trapped by obligation in love? Share your thoughts. This story is breaking hearts everywhere.